According to the World Economic Forum, 85 million jobs will be displaced by AI and automation by 2025. Goldman Sachs says 300 million full-time jobs are exposed to automation globally. And yet, here you are, watching a video about a man who died 1,800 years ago. Because Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, military commander, Stoic philosopher, faced something far worse than AI. He faced plague, war on 4 fronts, the betrayal of his most trusted general, the death of his children, the collapse of everything he built. And he didn't just survive it. He wrote one of the most powerful books in human history. Today I'm going to show you exactly what he would do, and more importantly, what you can do starting today. Before we get into the 5 principles, we need to understand the foundation of Stoic thinking. It's called the dichotomy of control, and it is the most powerful idea I have ever encountered. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of history's greatest philosophers, said this: "Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, reputation, command, and in one word, whatever are not our own actions." Read that again slowly. AI taking your job, not in your control. How you respond, completely in your control. Your skills, your character, your habits, your mindset, 100% in your control. This isn't toxic positivity. This isn't just think good thoughts. This is a 2,000-year-old operating system for human resilience. And it works. Let me show you how. Principle 1. Amor Fati, love what happens. Nietzsche made this phrase famous, but Marcus Aurelius lived it. Amor Fati means love your fate, not tolerate it, not accept it reluctantly, love it. Marcus wrote in his private journal, which was never meant to be published, Meditations. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. Now here is how that applies to AI disruption. Every major technological revolution in history, the printing press, the Industrial Revolution, the Internet, wiped out entire categories of jobs and created entirely new ones. The people who thrived were not the ones who resisted it. They were the ones who leaned into it first. The Stoic move: don't grieve the job AI replaces. Fall in love with learning what comes next. Here is your practical action. This week, identify one skill that AI cannot replicate: human judgment, creative vision, ethical leadership, emotional intelligence. Invest 30 minutes a day into it. Principle 2. Memento mori. Your skills were always temporary. Memento mori. Remember you will die. The Stoics didn't say this to be morbid. They said it to wake people up. Nothing lasts. No empire, no technology, no skill set. The data analyst who learned Excel in 2005 had to learn Python by 2018. The copywriter who mastered SEO in 2015 is now learning prompt engineering. Your current skills were always on borrowed time. AI just made the deadline visible. The Stoic response: stop clinging, start adapting. The skill that saves your career next year probably doesn't exist yet. Principle 3. Premeditatio malorum. Plan for the worst now. This is my personal favorite, and the one most relevant to the AI moment we are living through. Premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. The Stoic practice of deliberately imagining worst-case scenarios. Not to spiral into anxiety, but to remove its power over you. Marcus would wake up every morning and ask himself, what could go wrong today? What could I lose? How would I respond? By the time the crisis arrived, and for a Roman emperor, crises arrived daily, he had already rehearsed his response. Here is your exercise. Take 10 minutes this week and honestly answer these 3 questions. If AI replaced my current role tomorrow, what would I do in the first 30 days? What skills do I have that exist outside my job title? Who in my network could help me pivot? Write it down. The act of writing it removes 70% of its fear, I promise you. Principle 4. Virtue over output. Become irreplaceable. The Stoics believed the highest human goal was virtue, not success, not wealth, not even happiness. Virtue. And here is the thing about virtue in the age of AI. AI can replicate output. It cannot replicate character. It can write a report. It cannot build genuine trust. It can generate a strategy. It cannot inspire a team through a crisis. It can analyze data. It cannot make the judgment call when the numbers don't tell the full story. The people who will be most valuable in the next decade are not the most productive. They are the most trustworthy, the most courageous, the most honest. Marcus wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one." Stop optimizing your output. Start deepening your character. Principle 5. Digital fasting. Reclaim your mind from the algorithm. This one might be the most controversial. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, cold, hunger, silence. Not because suffering is good, but because it proved to themselves that they could survive without the things they thought they needed. In 2026, the thing most people think they need, but are actually enslaved to, is the algorithm. The endless scroll, the notification dopamine, the news cycle anxiety. Every hour you spend consuming content about AI taking your job is an hour you did not spend building the skills that protect you from it. The Stoic prescription: 1 hour a day, no screens, read, think, write, walk. Marcus Aurelius wrote Meditations at the end of brutal days commanding armies. He did it in silence, by candlelight. If he could find stillness in a military tent, you can find 60 minutes away from your phone. Now let's make this real. Here are 3 things you can do this week, not someday, this week. Action 1. The Stoic Morning Audit, 5 minutes. Every morning before you touch your phone, ask yourself 3 questions Marcus asked. What is within my control today? What am I going to be grateful for, regardless of outcomes? What would the best version of me do in the hardest moment today? Write the answers, don't type them, write them. Action 2. The Premortem Exercise, 30 minutes once this week. Imagine it is 1 year from today. AI has significantly changed your industry. What happened to you? What did you do right? What do you wish you had started earlier? Work backwards from that future. Build your response plan now, before the crisis. Action 3. The Irreplaceable Skill Investment, 30 minutes every day. Identify the one human skill that protects your career most, and commit 30 minutes every single day to it. Not occasionally, daily, like Marcus in his journal, like Epictetus in his lectures, like every Stoic who ever built something that outlasted them. Consistency is the Stoic superpower, not intensity. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire in the world. He commanded legions. He managed plagues. And every night he sat alone and wrote in his journal, not for anyone else to read, just to remind himself what mattered. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. AI is an outside event. Your response is not. The Stoics didn't promise you a life without disruption. They promised you something better, a mind so grounded that disruption cannot break you. If this gave you something today, share it with one person who is anxious about AI right now. They need this more than they know. Drop a comment below. Which of the 5 principles hit hardest for you? And subscribe, because every week, we bring you the ancient wisdom that the modern world forgot. See you next week.